In my excitement, I skipped over a step from the first assignment. I want to go ahead and take the opportunity to do that now. I want to save my file with a different name, so I'll leave my original file intact. So I'm going to name this file, I'll get rid of the 1. I'll name this file Store Sales. I'll go ahead and save it right here in my data file list since it's available. And now let's start on Unit F, protecting worksheets and workbooks. To protect really sensitive information, Microsoft Excel allows us to lock one or more cells so that other people can view the values and formulas in these cells, but they won't be able to change our values, and that's really important. Excel locks all cells by default, by the way. We call this kind of a two-step process. The cells are locked by default, but this locking does not take effect until we activate a protection feature that comes with Microsoft Excel. A common worksheet protection strategy is to unlock the cells in which the data will be changed, sometimes called the data entry area. That's the first step of this two-step process. And then to lock cells in which the data should not be changed. And then when we protect the worksheet, the unlocked areas can still be changed, but our locked areas cannot. And in this particular scenario, it's we'll say because the Toronto sales figures for January through March have been finalized. Well, then Kate's asked us to protect that worksheet area. That way users cannot change the figures for those months. So here's what we'll do. On the Toronto worksheet, and this is on page, if I can find it right quick, page 132 in your Microsoft Excel textbook. On the Toronto sheet, we're going to select the range E3 through M6. So I'll go ahead and grab that. Click the Home tab, and we'll click the Format button in the Cells group. And don't forget, we already know about Microsoft Excel. We have the tabs up above, the ribbon, and the ribbon is separated into different groups. Here we have our Cells group, and I'm looking for Format. Then in the Format Cells dialog box, we'll click the Protection tab. So we'll come down to Format Cells and click the Protection tab. We'll click the Locked checkbox to deselect it and go ahead and click OK. We'll click the Review tab, which is right here above the ribbon, and then we'll click the Protect Sheet button in the Changes group. So there's my Protect Sheet button in my Changes group. And right now, the only thing we want to do is verify that Protect Worksheet and Contents of Locked Cells is checked, and that's certainly the case, and that the password text box is blank. One more thing to check, make sure that Select Locked Cells and Select Unlocked Cells are checked as well. That all seems to be the case for us, and so we'll go ahead and click OK. Now in cell B3, we're going to go ahead and type 1. And look at that. We're simply confirming that locked cells cannot be changed. We'll go ahead and click OK. That's our proof. Now we'll click cell F3, and we'll also type a 1. Notice here Microsoft Excel does let us begin to change the entry. I'll go ahead and hit Escape on my keyboard to get out of that. We can click the Protect Workbook button in the Changes group. And notice we can specify, make sure that the Structure checkbox is selected. We can click the Windows checkbox to select it if we want to protect that as well. And we can still verify that the password text box is blank and then click OK. By the way, if you put a password in here, that is case sensitive. So uppercase D, uppercase S, uppercase U is different to Microsoft Excel than lowercase d, lowercase s, lowercase u, just as an example. And if you accidentally forget your password, you'll have to go through some pretty serious changes to get in there. You may have to buy some software to break into your application unless you know someone who can get into that for you. I'll go ahead and click OK. Now we're going to right click the Toronto Sheet tab. So come down here to the Sheet tab name. And notice we have a number of options here. Notice the things that we can't do now that we've protected our worksheet. We can't insert a worksheet, delete, rename, move, or copy. The only thing that we have available here is we can unprotect the sheet. So we've locked it down essentially. If we want to turn off our protection, then we can click the Protect Workbook button again. And now if I go down here and right click, you'll see that I have all of these available to me once again. If I want to remove the worksheet protection, I just remove the workbook protection. Don't forget Microsoft Excel opens as a workbook with 3 worksheets inside by default. If I want to turn off the protection that I have on the worksheet, I can go up here to Unprotect Sheet, which means now I can make changes anywhere that I'd like to on this Microsoft Excel worksheet. And that's it for this assignment.